All right, let it be on record that the banker is dressed less than the, digital transformation guy. And any conference room that says "by your command" and a Cylon on it is my kind of place, so this should be great. All right, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to walk you guys through probably half an hour, 40 minutes or so of just our technology strategy, how it links to our business strategy, and really around this notion of, in today's world, delivering financial services in a high-tech but high-touch environment. Because fundamentally, we still believe that financial services and the importance of financial services, because in many cases they are core and central, actually in every case, they are core and central to a client's life, to a customer's life, that's not something that can be completely done on mobile, and it's not something that can be completely done on video, and it's not something that can be completely done in person. And it's the combination of high-tech and high touch that delivers the magic that customers and clients want in today's environment. So that's what we're going to talk about. I'll leave a little bit of time for questions, and we'll go that way. A couple of notes just before I start. Bank of America has been very involved in the emerging tech sector. Of course globally and of course nationally, but also very importantly in Charlotte. We were active supporters, significant financial supporters, and active moral supporters of initiatives like the Carolinas FinTech Hub, like the QC FinTech Accelerator. And it stems from a very basic knowledge and a basic view that there is fundamentally no reason why Charlotte isn't one of the major fintech hubs of the world. I've lived here for almost 14 years of elapsed time, a couple of trips in and out. But we are one of the major banking centers of the world. We have unbelievably great employers. One in particular, no. We have unbelievably great employers. We have great sources of talent and education. We have great natural resources. We have a world-class airport. We have access to the whole world from here, and there is absolutely no reason why Charlotte doesn't have a much more prominent place than it does in the fintech scene. And it's very important to us as a company, but also as citizens of this great place to live, that we accelerate that work. And so we're very engaged in that work. I know if all of you are here in some way, shape, or form, you're notionally engaged in that work. So let's keep that going, because it's important that we keep working for our community to take the place that it deserves. The other area where we've started to spend a lot of time in, and you'll hear me talk about throughout our discussion, is the importance of diversity in technology. I joined the company in a strategy group and in a marketing group, and spent many years in marketing before I came over to digital and to run a technology group. And when I came into my first large town hall meeting, it was very stark to me that we didn't have more women in technology in the room. And so Bank of America and my team are spending a tremendous amount of time and energy with initiatives like all throughout the spectrum, Girls Who Code, so that we're getting high school girls interested in technology at an early age. We just ran a great program in New York to do that, and I'm very interested in doing that work here in Charlotte as well. And we're doing some great work with Discovery Place on girls in STEM. And I'm very excited about the work that we're doing there, because we have to make, if technology is going to be pervasive in the lives of our clients, which, by the way, they already are, then our teams that are building software and building processes have to be representative of our clients. And men and women need to work together in large agile rooms to go create really great software for the men and women that are going to use it. And so we're very engaged in that work, very engaged in college recruiting. I'll be at the Grace Hopper program next or early next month to talk about and to interview and to get women excited about joining technology groups in financial services. It is like everything where we put focus and energy, we will get results. And so there is, again, no reason why we don't have a more diverse technical workforce, and we're working hard on that as well. Let me start off our discussion today with why we do what we do. And this began a couple of years ago as we were coming out of the financial crisis, and when we were thinking about, and as we were thinking about what is the company that we are building out of the financial crisis, we really started to say, why do we come to work? And this again sounds a little bit corny, but nobody really likes to go to work to make money for a big corporation. I mean, maybe some people do, but that does not get me excited to wake up in the morning. And so why is it that we come to work? And we spent a lot of time out in our branches, on the phones with our clients, in offices with some of the wealthiest people in the world, with everyday clients who are interacting with us on mobile and online, and really said, why are we here? What is our purpose? And the common purpose that ran through all of us, whether we were associates serving, teammates serving, mass market clients, all the way to the biggest institutions on the planet, what we were really trying to do was to help our clients lead better financial lives. And how were we going to do that? We were going to do that by bringing together everything that we could, all the resources that we can as Bank of America, to our clients. Right? So we start off literally our discussion of what's the technology strategy first with what's our purpose. And make sure that every technology decision that we make, every strategic decision that we make is grounded in our purpose. Are we starting off with a place that says we want to help our clients lead better financial lives through the power of everything that we can bring them? And that notion of that purpose then is to work with innovative startups, to work with established large technology companies, to work with our own development teams, to go and bring great ideas, great speed to market, high-tech horsepower. And we believe that when we bring the power of the innovation ecosystem and all of the reach and scale and scope that Bank of America and capital that Bank of America can bring, that's when you can make magic happen for our clients. Okay? Start with a purpose. It was one of the guiding principles for why we have such an established relationship with Sal Khan and the Khan Academy to create which started as a very simple idea around better money habits. If you go to the Better Money Habits environment, nobody's cross-selling you a credit card over there. There's no apply now. There's none of that. It really is how to actually have a responsible financial life in very simple terms. Because what we also recognize is that when bankers start getting into talking about financial services, we start talking about accounts and overdrafts and checks, and really the conversation is about how to manage your money better. A budget is not a spreadsheet. A budget is a way of thinking about money in and money out. And in a 2-minute or 3-minute digestible video that we're probably not great at doing, let's be honest, and the Khan Academy folks are really great at doing, we can bring our intellectual capital and new ways of thinking and new ways of talking to clients to help them live a better financial life. So that's that's sort of the notion of how we get started. Let me talk to you a little bit about what we do. For those of you who don't know, we break out our clients into these 3 buckets: people, companies, and institutions. And we believe our company is unique because we go to market across our clients' financial lives in all of these spaces. And so let me just give you a sense of scale of what we talk about when we talk about serving clients here. We serve approximately 47 million consumer and small business households. More than 23 million customers actively use our mobile banking app. Over 30 million use online and mobile together. Give you a sense of that, in a typical week, we will process 100 million mobile logins in a week. There's 4,500 financial centers out there that serve our banking clients in person, almost 16,000 ATMs. Almost a quarter of our sales are done digitally today. In the second quarter alone, mobile banking clients logged into Bank of America 1 billion times, almost 46 times per user. Think about how that is completely different from what banking used to be even a decade ago. Right? A client that you maybe interacted with maybe once a month through a statement, now you're interacting with 46 times in a quarter. A lot of people say wealth management. So through Merrill Lynch and US Trust, wealth management is a very individual business. It is. It's a very individual and very personal business. Online logins now exceed 15 million logins per month by wealth management clients. That doesn't include the people who log into the Bank of America environments. That's just into the Merrill Lynch and US Trust environments. And on the commercial side, we have relationships with 81% of the global Fortune 500, almost 95% of the US Fortune 1000, and a team that spans the globe to serve, spans the US and the globe to span these clients. Okay, so we started off with purpose. Serve our clients' financial needs, help them live better financial lives through the power of every connection we can bring to them. And how do we do that? Through responsible growth, something we call responsible growth. So what does responsible growth mean? Well, first of all, it means growth. Every business, the purpose of every business is to grow. So first of all, it means grow and win in our marketplace. We're very focused on that. How are we going to do it? We're going to grow within our customer-focused strategy. Lots of companies say this. Let me tell you about what this actually means to us. Despite all the numbers I just read to you, Bank of America customers get their mortgages elsewhere more than they do at Bank of America. Bank of America clients have their wealth at places other than Merrill Lynch and US Trust. We don't actually need to go out and acquire another customer. So when we say grow within our customer-focused strategy, we really mean go and deliver great client service to our clients, earn the right to have another conversation with them about their relationship with us, and grow within our customer base. That's really what that means. No need to go out and acquire or buy another customer. We can deepen those relationships, make those relationships better, and there's plenty of growth available there. Grow within our risk framework. This is an industry that has gone through lots of upheavals. And so the growth is great, but always within our risk framework. There is no reason to have to go outside of responsible lending, responsible delivery of our capabilities in order to be able to grow. There's plenty of responsible growth to be had. And then finally, and most importantly, do it sustainably. No one-time things, no things that can not be repeated again. Grow sustainably in a way with our clients again and again and again. And the simplest way, and the way I think we should all be thinking about it in this industry, maybe in all industries, but certainly in financial services, is this. Deliver unbelievably well for your clients. Earn the right to have another conversation with them. Earn the business. Repeat. Again and again and again. Grow with our clients, grow responsibly, grow within our risk framework. So that gives you the sort of construct of how we think about how we think about our strategy and how we think about our purpose. So let's talk about then how the technology strategy evolves from that. Fundamentally, client needs are changing. You hear lots of people say that. Everybody says that at the beginning or in the middle of one of these talks. But the notion of how a client fundamentally interacts with a bank is completely different than it was 10 years ago. And the root cause of it is because banking, much as it hurts me to say this, banking is not what everybody wakes up and thinks about at 8 o'clock in the morning. Like, I really want to go deposit that check today. That's going to be awesome. People want to live their lives, and the way they live their lives today, whether it's how they interact socially, whether it's how they research products, buy those products, read the newspaper, read the not newspaper because there is no one source of truth for them. All of those interactions are happening digitally. And banking and financial services should be no different. And the client's expectation is that banking and financial services are no different and that they should meld into their life. If I'm taking the bus to work, I should be able to pay my bill there, not have to sit at my desk and log into online banking and pay my bill there. If I have to deposit a check, it should be as simple as taking a picture at 2 o'clock in the morning of that check and depositing it. Today, almost 20% of the checks deposited by Bank of America clients are deposited on mobile. To give you a sense of that, that 20% of checks represents deposits that are larger than entire banks in the United States. So our mobile bank is larger than most banks in the country because that's how clients are living their financial lives. At the same time, I think the need for human interaction when it really matters is also higher than it has ever been before. A transaction that is about looking at your balance, maybe paying a bill, transferring money to a friend, those are all great transactions to have digitally and to have asynchronously fit into your life wherever they should fit. A conversation about making potentially the largest purchase of your life when you're buying a home, or a significant life event where you now have to say, I don't even know what a 529 is, and why is it even called that? Like it's a number. It's to clients, it's the most important investment they will make in their future, and bankers call them 529s. I mean, this is sort of this notion of that's the time when you need to be sitting with a human being and saying, how do I do this? I could show you a video about saving, but sitting down in one of our financial centers with one of our teammates to actually walk through your budget and have them say, you know what, there is an opportunity for you to save just a little bit more every month, and let me show you how $50 of savings into a 401k or $50 of savings into a 529 can compound up and mean something to you. That human interaction, along with the digital interaction, is what delivers unbelievable client service to financial services clients. And that's what we call high tech, high touch. This is why you will see there's a lot of talk about retrenchment of branches in financial services. And we've closed quite a few numbers of branches. But if you actually look, we have increased the number of teammates that are in financial centers. And the reason for that is because as the act of taking a picture of a check replaces the waiting in the teller line, what that needs to start getting replaced by, and is increasingly getting replaced by, is the act of sitting down with a human being and having a discussion about your financial life. I'll take you right back to the beginning. The purpose is to help our clients lead better financial lives with all of the tools and capabilities that we can bring them. So for us, what that means is starting to think about the financial center in a high-tech, high-touch way that's deeply integrated. Right? So who said, probably somebody in the mid-1800s said, you should come into a bank branch with big pillars and wait on the uncomfortable couches until somebody comes and answers your question. It's 2017, you should be able to go onto your mobile app and you should say, I would like to meet Bridget at the financial center, who is an education specialist, and she will be ready to answer my question. And by the way, I've logged in and told Bridget that I will be there at 3 o'clock on Tuesday afternoon, which means that Bridget will be fully able and ready with all my financial profile to talk about what we ought to be able to do. This week, we will set up 400,000 appointments for our clients on mobile. Okay? That is the digital and the physical coming together and delivering high tech and high touch in the same way. And people are noticing this, right? Number one in online banking, 17th consecutive time by Keynote. Number one in mobile, I think that's the 7th or 8th consecutive time. Number one in digital sales functionality, 4th consecutive by Forrester. Number one in the top 1,200 rated financial advisors. You can have all the digital appointments set up in the world. If you don't have the top financial advisors in the business, you're not giving clients great advice. On the institutional side, number one in global research, and number one amongst large corporate, large cash management, and large trade finance. So not only are we doing this, people out there are seeing that this high-tech, high-touch thing is actually working. Okay, so purpose, deliver better financial life for our client through the power of everything that we can bring them. Grow responsibly. Do it in a high-tech, high-touch way. So what does that mean for the technology team? For the technology team, it means delivering our end-to-end client journey digitally with intelligence at scale. I think I pretty much said every buzzword there is in. Okay, so let's talk about what that actually really means. Okay, number one, client-driven, mobile first. All of our technology leaders have to spend a couple of hours a month in a financial center, on the phone, with a client, at a Merrill Lynch office, with the client's permission, sitting them and sitting through their financial planning discussion. Because the only thing that matters is what the client experience is. All the technology, all the bits and bytes, all of that is interesting if it isn't client-driven first. The first question we ask in architecture reviews is, what's the client experience that's going to get delivered? How is the technology that we are showing, that we are proposing to go build, better for the client and for their experience than the one that they have today? If the answer to that question is no, it's shiny, new, interesting technology, not interested. Technology that isn't delivered in the service of a client is just interesting technology. Okay, so number one, client-driven and mobile first. We ask every question, why can this not be done in mobile? In the Carolinas now, and in a couple more states, but we piloted first in the Carolinas, you can actually go onto your mobile phone, you can browse dealerships, you can pick the exact car that you want, you can get pre-approved for financing for that exact vehicle. You can go in, you can have any negotiation you want on the cost of the car with the dealer, but not on the financing. And one shot, you're in and out. Completely done, end-to-end mobile. If you're an existing Bank of America customer, there's almost no paper that needs to change hands because we already have all the information about you. You can digitally sign it. Regulatorily, we do have to send you 1 or 2 pieces of paper in the mail, which we will do, but that's it. Digital, client-driven, mobile first, all the way end-to-end through the process. No reason that doesn't happen, that shouldn't happen for every interaction that you have in financial services, and we are on that journey. 2, as I told you, high-tech enabled by high-touch. What's very important in that for technologists is that there can be no single channel or no single product. And that happens organizationally, as well as process-wise, as well as technology-wise. On my team, there is no single direct report of mine, or actually down even to their direct reports, who are uniquely aligned to either one product or one business. Because the person who runs voice recognition or IVR technology should not be worried about what the IVR sounds like for Merrill Lynch versus for Bank of America. They should only be asking the question, how do I make sure that if a client is a client of both, that their experience across both is seamless? Those are the questions we want our technologists to be answering. If we don't create organizational silos, ultimately we will not create technology silos. So high-tech enabled by high-touch is about thinking all channels, all products, all digital, all the time. If you do those things right, then you automatically go green and go paperless. The vision is that unless it is regulatorily required for us to produce a piece of paper. There should be no reason why paper is produced anywhere. Clients don't like it. It's expensive. It's more prone to identity theft. There's no reason to do it. It's worse for the environment. So fundamentally, if you do those things right, go green and go paperless. And I think as citizens of the country, it's important for all of us to really start a conversation as technologists about how our legislative and regulatory bodies spend more time legislating paper out of our environment. In Scandinavia, in India, in China, legislators and regulators are spending a lot of time saying, why is there paper money? Why are there paper mortgages? Why is there paper recording? Right? The trackability of digital, the safety of digital is much better than it is on paper. And so this is an important imperative, not only for our business, but for the future of our planet. A lot of conversation about intelligent personalization and this notion of artificial intelligence. And so we think about that in three ways. Number one is, how do you deliver analytics to the businesses that are actually allow our teammates to make better decisions? Okay, and that's not a lot of rocket science. That's a lot of hard data work that really has to happen every day to say, a client is a client. They're not a mortgage holder or a credit card user or a mobile login or whatever. There needs to be a single view of the client, and those analytics need to empower that high-touch person when they're sitting in front of their client to be able to say, I can see your whole relationship, and here's how I can help you actually live a better financial life. The second way we think about that is in automating processes inside our company. So we think a lot about robotic process automation, not as a way of the press always talks about robotic process automation as, oh, all these people are going to get taken out. No, it's actually making people more efficient, because nobody likes to go, take paper from one place to another and do something with it and then move it to the third place. What they want to be doing is actually making an intelligent decision about what's happening there. And if the routine task can be automated by a software bot, it should be. And the third way that we think about that is in using all of these analytics and the power of voice recognition that is now so much better than it was even a few years ago, to start delivering an artificially intelligent process, so that where we don't have a teammate sitting across from you, that we can start offering you analytic-based decisions that can help you lead a better financial life. You've probably heard about our intelligent assistant that we've announced, Erica. Get it, Bank of Erica. Come on, I used to be in marketing. But the idea of Erica and intelligent assistants like that is essentially to say, where I have lots of knowledge about you, let me use some of that knowledge to help you live a better financial life. That could be as simple as, Erica, please send $20 to Trent. And that should be either by voice, if you're comfortable doing that, or by text. So Erica understands both. Or to say, I've looked at how much you spend at restaurants every month, and here's what that is. It's not to be judgy, like, get home and start cooking. But it is to empower the client with the knowledge that says, hey, here's how much you spend. The spending and budgeting tool that we have on Bank of America mobile banking today, and if you're not a client, I'm more than happy to help show you how to do that. But spending and budgeting today is completely automated. So you just click on spending and budgeting, and we will actually show you from last month what your income was, how much money went in, how much money went out, and what categories it went in and out of. You can recategorize them if you want. Most people don't. When people do recategorize, and they recategorize multiply, like many tens of thousands of people do that, we learn from that and we change those categories in the next month. But that notion of understanding how you live your financial life and helping you understand how you live your financial life, that's what artificial intelligence is about. Again, I think it sometimes gets overinterpreted as, you know, some robot is going to make decisions about who gets credit or not. That's not how this is going to work. It's going to be us using great analytics and great human interfaces, great software interfaces, to say you should be able to, it should be able to behave like you're texting with a human being. And we'll have lots of, Turing test people say that, you know, that's overreach, and that's fine. But our goal really is to say the analytics should deliver a better client experience because it's enabled through an interface that people are much more comfortable with. I still fundamentally don't believe that that replaces high tech, high touch. So artificial intelligence should allow our client to have a richer experience, but ultimately link right back to, great, if you need to have a conversation about college savings, we can do that. In places where it isn't that sophisticated or that need isn't as great, we should be able to have algorithms help you make that decision. So today, if you want to invest, Bank of America offers you 3 ways to invest. Number 1 is you can go onto Merrill Edge and you can be completely self-directed. You can pick stocks, you can pick ETFs, whatever you want, and we'll give you tools to help you pick, but it's your call. Earlier this year, we launched Merrill Edge Guided Investing. If you log into the guided investing environment, we actually ask you a few questions about your risk tolerance, about the time horizon, about what your goals are, about what your life priorities are. And based on the answers to those questions, we'll give you a Merrill Lynch intellectual property portfolio that says the expertise of Merrill Lynch would say to you, here's how you should invest your money. And if you choose to want to go invest your money that way, it's one click, and we do all the investing behind the scenes for you. Okay? We call that automated investing or guided investing. Because there's still high touch in there, because a human being designed those portfolios. But if you need a full-service financial advisor, and by the way, that's not about how much money you have, that's about how you want to manage your money. There'll be plenty of multi-million-dollar clients who want guided investing, and plenty of $100,000 clients for whom they want to talk to a human being. Great. All those options are available to you. Okay, so when we talk about intelligent personalization, we talk about artificial intelligence, not really about artificial, it's about analytics augmenting the intelligence so that you can have a better high-tech, high-touch experience. We then talk about innovation for experience and commoditization for scale. There's very little value that we get out of the big scale transactions. Mortgage servicing technology is a good example of that. We announced late last year that we're doing a partnership with Black Knight Financial Services to use their platform for mortgage servicing. The value in mortgage servicing is the conversation you have with the person in the call environment, or that you have at a financial center or with your financial advisor. It's not in the accounting of how your mortgage payment is being processed. So we believe very much in commoditizing all that stuff out and then having a discussion about innovation that is innovating for the client experience. So where we've spent a ton of time is as a client is going through the mortgage process, let's make that completely digital. And we make that completely digital with a high-tech, high-touch environment. You have a conversation with a loan officer on a very large investment in your life, but then it goes from high-touch to completely high-tech. Take pictures of documents, upload documents, be able to see your workflow online, be able to communicate back and forth with your processor online, be able to set your closing date online. All that stuff should be digital. High-tech, high-tech. That's the part of the experience that matters to the client. And then finally, we're doing a lot of work internally on transforming how we deliver technology. the historical view of large corporate technology groups is big, slow, expensive. 3 or 4 years ago, we were delivering mobile releases every 4 to 6 months. It's 2017. You cannot deliver mobile releases every 4 to 6 months. The world has changed by then. We release mobile software now every 35 to 55 days. Faster if needed. That means going completely agile for digital development. It means taking all of the manualness out of the software delivery lifecycle. So whether that's test automation, deployment automation, continuous integration, continuous delivery, all of that completely automated so that software developers are spending 100% of their time not waiting on some process, but delivering great software to help clients live better financial lives. By the way, that's what developers want to spend their time doing. Nobody wants to spend their time waiting for test data to show up. So spend a lot of time creating completely clean, completely masked test data environments so that developers can spend all of their time working against the environment, not working to get the environment up and running. Okay, so that's a little bit about how we're transforming technology. And then the last thing I'll bring up is how we drive innovation. Because again, a lot of people say, oh, big bank can't innovate. We are the only bank in the top 300 list of US patent holders. More patents in 2016 than MIT. Dartmouth guy, so a little bit of competitiveness there. We run a DevCon event internal to the bank that is completely driven by developers. There's no like corporate dude coming in and saying, you know, you can only do these things. It's pretty rough and tumble in there. There's some pretty crazy ideas in there. Not all of them make the light of day, but it's important for developers to feel like they can innovate. When we were thinking about the roadmap for Erica, we actually put out an innovation challenge to all of our teams. We said, any developer, get together with any data person, get together with any line of business person, and come and tell us what is your top idea for what Erica could do for a client. And the only requirement was it should help a client live a better financial life. Thousands of ideas. We picked probably the top 300 or so, asked them to develop them further, did sort of an internal Shark Tank, got down to a really great list of about 10, funded the top 3. Innovation is everybody's business. With apologies to other firms in our industry, we do not have an innovation lab. Because I can't pick the 10 people who will be innovative forever. Because I need the 10,000 people innovating all the time. Because guess what? If you think there's some innovation lab out there whose job it is to innovate, and like, what's my job? To not innovate? I'm a software developer. Like, I live to change industries. I live to change how people think. So innovation we want to make innovation endemic to all of us all the time. Merrill Edge Guided Investing, the software behind Zelle, the software behind Erica, these are all internally developed. These are all first to market for large financial services firms. Now, we don't think that we are not arrogant enough to think that we can only do that ourselves. And so we have a significant program to partner, and I have a team of people whose job it is to help startups work with us in a series of innovation summits that we do around the country. Biggest one is held in Silicon Valley. It'll be, we'll run it again next month, or in early November, actually. And what happens at these events is hundreds of startups apply to come see us. Tens of venture capital firms bring their best companies. We vet them. We do a presentation like this where I talk to them about what it is that we are looking for. Then they actually spend time with all of our development teams, understanding 5 or 6 specific problems that we are targeting for that year. And they're all the ones that you'd think, right? The SDLC automation, information security, fintech, spending budgeting, artificial intelligence, all the things that you would think about. And we say, come show us what you got. about 15 to 20% of the companies that we visit with actually become vendors of Bank of America. And we all learn a ton. We ship out a bunch of business people and software developers out there. They learn. We learn. We partner. In some cases, they end up doing work for us. But probably one of the highest throughputs I've seen of programs like this. So big program in Silicon Valley. We just ran our first one in New York earlier this year. As you can tell from my opening comments, I have a great interest in doing the same in Charlotte. So we need to build our fintech capability here, because what I don't want is all the New York people just coming here for the summit. But I want Charlotte companies to be here and ready to talk to us. So so good work to be done there. But inside and outside, driving innovation. But everybody has to do innovation, because innovation can't be done by just some small group of people. So let me leave just a few minutes for some questions. But just again, leave you with this. We are very firm in the belief that the purpose that we are here for is to deliver better financial lives for our clients, and we do that through growing responsibly and delivering technology in a high-tech and high-touch environment, because people and software need to work together to make clients' lives better.